Hey there, and welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving deep into the world of movie magic, and more importantly, the specific English words you need to talk about it. So let's get right into it. Okay, just look at this for a second. On the left, you've got a classic stone carving, but on the right, that's Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, the amount of detail on that character is just wild, isn't it? The skin texture, the shadows, honestly, it looks completely real.
But this brings up a couple of big questions. First off, is what you're seeing even real? And maybe more importantly for us, how do you find the right words in English to describe something this complex? And that's exactly what we're going to tackle today.
So here's our game plan, our fluency journey for today. First, we'll go beyond the big screen. Then, we'll get into the specific language of CGI. After that, we're going to switch gears to speaking like a native using idioms. We'll see those idioms in action, and finally, we'll put it all together in your English toolkit.
All right, let's kick things off with our first section, beyond the big screen. You know, to really appreciate the artistry in movies, like that incredible Davy Jones example, it really helps to have the right vocabulary. We're about to find out exactly how language brings that movie magic to life.
Now, a huge part of modern movie magic boils down to one thing: CGI. That stands for Computer-Generated Imagery, and if you want to understand how it all works and talk about it with confidence, you've got to learn a few key terms. This is going to help you decode articles and discussions on the topic like a pro.
So let's start with a little challenge. I've pulled this sentence from our source material. What word do you think goes in that blank? Computer-generated images are now so lifelike that they are almost blank from the real world. Have a think about it. The word we're looking for is indistinguishable. It's a great one. Let's say it slowly. Indistinguishable. It just means that two things are so similar you can't see any difference between them. It fits perfectly, right? Because modern CGI is getting so good it's almost impossible to tell it apart from reality. Okay, ready for another one? This is so cool. So, the people you see in the background of huge movie scenes, think Titanic, are often computer-generated. What? The text actually gives us a little clue with this other word, synthespians. They're called synthespians. How great is that word? What's really neat here is how the word is made. It's a mix of synthetic, which means artificial, and thespian, which is just a fancy word for an actor. Learning how words get blended like this is an amazing skill for building your vocabulary. Let's keep building on that with a few more must-know words. For instance, most of the audience was unaware they were watching digital actors. Why? Because it would have been totally impractical, not realistic at all, to use real people for those super dangerous scenes. The whole goal is to make the effect convincing, so you believe it's real. And honestly, as technology gets better, it feels inevitable that we'll see even more of this. Okay, great. So now you can read and understand a technical article about CGI. That is a massive step. But how do you talk with that same kind of confidence in just a normal, everyday conversation? This is where we make a really important shift from understanding written text to actually speaking naturally. You know, if you really want to sound more natural, you need to learn the secret code of native speakers. And that code is idioms. These are phrases that often don't make literal sense, but they are absolutely essential for fluency. So, come on, let's crack this code together. And we're not just going to learn a list of definitions. No way. We're going to see exactly how to use these idioms in real situations. The whole point is for you to feel ready to start using them in your own conversations, like right away. So, first things first, you have to match the idiom to what it actually means. It's the critical first step. For example, to speak your mind simply means to say exactly what you think, or to talk someone into something means you persuade them. Getting these definitions down is step one. All right, let's put one to the test. My dad is very direct. He always... Which idiom do you think fits? Well, the big clue here is the word direct. That's right. He always speaks his mind. He just says exactly what he is thinking, no filter. Let's try another one. At first, I didn't want to go skiing, but in the end, my friends blanket. So what happened in this situation? My friends changed my mind, right? They persuaded me. So the idiom is, they talked me into it. And here's one last one that is super useful in daily life. I only want to have dinner at this hotel. I don't need a room. This is a perfect example of a misunderstanding. And the polite, common way to say this is, I think you've gotten the wrong end of the stick. So,
We've looked at some pretty technical words, and we've practiced some very conversational idioms. Now, let's bring it all home in our final section, your English Toolkit. This is where we see why you really need both to become a fluent, confident speaker.
And this lays it out perfectly. Think of it this way. On one hand, you have technical vocabulary, words like indistinguishable, that help you decode complex information. On the other hand, you have idiomatic language like get the wrong end of the stick that helps you express yourself and really connect with people. A complete toolkit needs both.
Because really that's what it's all about. True fluency isn't about memorizing the entire dictionary. It's about having the right words for the right moment, whether you're reading a serious article or just chatting with a friend over coffee.
So I'm going to leave you with this question to think about. You've added some really powerful tools to your collection today. So what part of your English toolkit are you going to build next? Thanks so much for joining me and happy learning.